What's up, guys? Cody Peaster here. I had a hard time finding the motivation to do this video because the weather kind of sucks today. But here I am. So, I was debating on whether or not to use my wide-angle lens and my 50mm lens, you know, so I could get like an out-of-focus background. But as you can see, I went with the wide angle. So, decided not to shoot 4K because, well, the last video I posted, or I did, I had issues uploading it because it was so big. It was a good 5 gigs. I mean, it was, like I said, 4K and just like 25 minutes long. So, yeah. But also, it's really hard to, it's pretty much impossible to share the YouTube link to Instagram. That was the other issue. Like, you can't just tap on it and have it pop up. I mean, that should be a thing, but it's not. And so, I mean, no one's going to take the time to actually write out the freaking link. I mean, that's, yeah, whatever. Type out, whatever. So, honestly, I mean, I'll still do 4K videos occasionally, but I'll have to find another way to share them or something. You know, I want, both my friends on Facebook and Instagram to see my videos. So, but I think for now, for this video, I'm just going to do 1080p. I mean, it's pretty easy. Oh, no, the rain was supposed to hold off for another hour. Anyway, so this video will be, different than my other recent videos. This video is not really about my current life situation. It's not about girls. It's not about college. It's not about work. This video is about my childhood, the early 2000s. Now, as most of you guys know, I'm pretty old. I'm 28, and much as I hate to admit it, I'll be 29 in a couple of months. I hate it because, I'm not where I should be at this age. I mean, working at Walmart for 5.5 years, 29. I mean, I'm currently where most people are when they're like 19 or 20. So yeah, but anyway, so I was born in 91, and despite that, I can't really label myself as a true 90s kid because, well, I don't remember most of the decade. My memory of that decade was pretty patchy. I didn't really get to fully experience the decade. Like most of the things that were big that decade or whatever, I didn't explore until recently. Whether it be like music, TV shows, that kind of stuff. Like, I only recently listened to the Backstreet Boys, I know, for years I've been a metalhead, I guess, well, my 20s. I wasn't a metalhead when I was younger, but, but only recently have I explored music from the past decades, like 70s, 80s, and 90s. And TV shows. I didn't watch The Fresh Prince until I was 18. So Fresh Prince, and I only recently finally started watching Keenan and Kel. That's a pretty good show. But yeah. As a kid, I don't know what's in my notes. I just I didn't get to experience the 90s. Most of my childhood that I remember was in the early 2000s, and I would say my childhood ended in 2005. I guess the childhood that I knew. 2005 is kind of my cutoff point for pop music. Like, I hate today's pop. I really hate it with a burning passion. You know, can't stand Miley Cyrus. Not a fan of Lady Gaga or Katy Perry or any of these newer singers. You know, my childhood was, well, Britney Spears. Well, you know, like those Britney Spears and well, I mean, there's Avril Lavigne, like several of those kind of artists and stuff. Like I said, you know, 2005 was my cutoff point. 2005, I moved to Haversham, and well, I hit puberty. So yeah. Hell, as a dude who's like, who could not be straighter, I'll admit I've actually listened to quite a bit of Madonna. Honestly, you know, I like her earlier stuff. I like her 80s and I like her 90s, and I would say I like a good bit of her early 2000s stuff. Her 2005 album was probably the most recent album that I like, that, you know, has music that I like. Like, everything after that, like, I tried to listen to it and it was absolute crap. Like, pretty much every other artist, like, you know, Britney Spears, like, I like her early stuff, but can't stand her newer stuff. They all sound the same. Freaking robotic and that kind of crap, you know? So, whatever. So I watched a lot of TV in the early 2000s. Alright. I was wondering if I was ever going to see him today. Well, early childhood, I watched Playhouse Disney. I guess, you know, in the 90s, I watched Disney movies. I didn't really watch TV. But in the early 2000s, I watched, there were multiple channels that I watched. I think it started with PBS Kids. You know, like I watched Arthur, Clifford the Big Red Dog. I mean, Arthur was one of my favorite shows as a kid. There was a show called Cyber Chase. Yeah. Don't remember the names of the characters, but I remember the bird. I know he was like voiced by Gilbert Gottfried, or I don't know if I'm saying it right. You know, the same guy who did Iago from Aladdin. I mean, pretty distinct voice. So that was that show. But Arthur was honestly my favorite show at that time, and I remember when 9/11 hit, and like, well, that day, like, I was 10 at that point, and honestly, I never really thought much of it at that point. I was just like, why is Arthur not on? Why is the news on? That was literally all I was thinking. So yeah, I mean, looking back, of course, I'm sorry. I feel bad for everything. Like, I feel for everyone who was like involved in all that. But as a kid, I was pretty clueless, you know. But yeah, so I was, yeah, I was watching Playhouse Disney, I guess. At that point, like, I would say that block ended, like, at some point in the afternoon, and regular Disney Channel came on. And I watched a little bit of Disney Channel. I watched, there was a Doug. I've actually never really watched the Nickelodeon version. I'd watched the Disney version because I watched the Disney stuff before I started watching Nickelodeon. I didn't start watching Nickelodeon until 2003, so I was pretty much strictly Disney for a while. But one day I was flipping through the channels, and I discovered that I had Toon Disney. At that point, I had cable, I think. You know, I was like, oh, jackpot! I mean, Toon Disney was lit. Toon Disney was freaking awesome. You know, there were shows like Aladdin, which was, you know, apparently events that took place after the Return of Jafar. There was, let's see, Little Mermaid, Hercules. There was Gargoyles, but my mom, you know, being a person that she is, she did not want me watching that show. But let's see, what else? I think, let's see, there was like a movie on every night, or I don't know if it was every night or if it was Friday night. It was so long ago, but you know, I'd watched a lot of Land Before Time movies on that channel. There was also they aired a lot of the crappy sequels to the movies, like, you know, Little Mermaid 2, that kind of stuff. But I was mainly into like the TV shows. There was a House of Mouse, which you know, had like this like aired in the early 2000s, and it had like, I guess it was like a variety show. I don't know. You know, it had like all the Disney characters in one big building, and Mickey Mouse was the host, and it would occasionally, like, it would put on a few shorts, like, involving Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck or Goofy or whatever. That was pretty enjoyable. Then there was like, oh yeah, okay. There were other shows like Chip and Dale, the Rescue Rangers, which was like, it was the chipmunks from Mickey Mouse. I don't know. It was long ago. There was also Tailspin, which had the bear from Jungle Book. It's kind of a spin-off. He was like flying a helicopter or something. Then there was Darkwing Duck. There was DuckTales. All that cool stuff. Like, that was my favorite channel. And I still watched Disney Channel as well. I started 2002. I watched Kim Possible. That's when it started. That was pretty fun. Oh, holy crap! I forgot to start my music. You know what? It's okay. What else? You know what? I'll go ahead and put it on. So yeah, and there were Disney Channel movies that also aired. One of my favorites was Smart House. You know, where this young teenager, he wins this like really high-tech house for his family, but he kind of hacks into the system, and well, the smart house turns into an overbearing, insane mother, you know, and things get a little crazy. That was a good show. I mean, a good movie. But other things that I watched on Disney Channel, I'm not proud of. I watched a lot of chick flicks. Yeah. As a kid, I didn't have a problem with them, but you know, when puberty kicked in, I grew to hate them, like absolutely despise them. Yeah, Disney Channel didn't have a lot of chick flicks. There was also shows. There were shows like That's So Raven. I mean, that was pretty cool, I guess. Later on, there was The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. There was Phil the Future. That kind of stuff. 2003 was when I finally started watching Nickelodeon. And then I got into like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. There was The Amanda Show. Later on, there was Drake and Josh. That was good stuff. And The Amanda Show was basically like a kid's version of Saturday Night Live. Although, come to think of it, so was All That, but I never watched it, and I kind of wish I had. But I think I will start watching that very soon. That was more of a 90s thing, I guess. I feel like that was when it was in its prime, because, you know, Keenan and Kel. But yeah, there was Fairly Odd Parents. You know, those shows ended up going on for a while, except for Jimmy Neutron. I think that ended in 2006. I'm not sure, but SpongeBob is still going. Although I really wish they weren't, because the show has not been watchable in over a decade. Honestly, the show went downhill pretty quick after the first movie. So occasionally, if I ever watch any SpongeBob, it's gonna be, you know, the early stuff. So that stuff was good, and that's where you'll see like most of the SpongeBob memes that you find on Facebook or whatever. They're based off those episodes. I mean, they're classics, you know, Pinhead Larry, that kind of stuff. Let's see. As a kid, like before I moved to Habersham, I lived in Cobb County, so that place was kind of hood, I guess, compared to. I thought of it as kind of hood compared to where I am now. Like, I live in Rednecksville now. It was just a different place. I mean, it wasn't Atlanta, but I mean, it was like a suburban. Like, I lived in Smyrna. I was like right next to Marietta, but it was definitely more ghetto than this place. I mean, I was one of the only few dudes that didn't have my shorts like down to my knees or whatever, you know. So that was kind of the style, I guess, you know, big t-shirts, you know, sagging pants, that kind of stuff. And I didn't really do that. I was a weird, obnoxious kid. I mean, I did try to fit in, but I wasn't gonna do that. Anyway, I like the early 2000s, because that was just my childhood. Yeah, there were some bad memories, but so I guess that's all I really have to say about this video. I might do a video about the 90s, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I don't know when my next video will be. I might do it with my 50mm lens, whatever feels right. But that's it. So you guys have a great day. Try to get this video up as quick as possible. As for my Instagram friends, I might just or followers, which I don't have a whole lot of, but I might just, I'll put that video, like, I'll do that IGTV thing, or whatever, so people can watch it on there. But yeah, that's all. You guys have a great day. I need to go to the gym now.